Hi all, we are here to introduce you to a new team member today. We're going to have a brief conversation with our new investment counselor who's just joined our team, Sean Rosas. We look forward to visiting with him for the next few minutes. So, Sean, welcome to the team. Happy to have you.
Great to be aboard.
So you've got a fascinating background that brought you to Assante Wealth Management. Just as a way of background, Assante Private Client is our high net worth investment counseling division of our practice. And in that partnership with Assante Private Wealth, we have investment counselors such as yourself that assist us in portfolio management and portfolio construction and advising our clients. And so you are our new addition to our team for that. We're really happy to have you part of our team. Tell us a little bit about where you've been over the last number of years. You've got an incredibly interesting bio. Tell us where your career has taken you over these last number of years as you've worked as an investment counselor over these last number of years.
Yep. Thanks, Brad, and hello, everyone. Look forward to meeting in due course. I spent time in my career in every continent at some point. A lot of time in Europe in the call it 2000s. Prior to that, in the U.S. and most recently back here in Canada. And over the course of my travels, has spoken with issuers ranging from central banks to corporates to high yield in places from Australia, Asia, the Middle East. So pretty good cross section of accounts, and a lot of the building blocks of those discussions have ended up in portfolios that CI is now managing in Assante. So that's kind of a brief snapshot of my background.
So with that kind of a global experience, portfolios like we run, which are all globally diversified portfolios, should be of interest to you because you've actually lived in most of the places where we're managing money.
Absolutely, and it feels like there's a bit of insight on the kind of the origination of those portfolios, bringing them back to our local context here on the West Coast. And there's definitely a lot of, there's an element of front to back in terms of seeing where things started and kind of where they're finishing up in people's wealth plans.
Now, one of the things that I found so interesting in visiting with you is that you were one of the early investors into Russia. And for those of you in our clients who haven't read the book Red Notice by Bill Browder, it's one of the best books I've ever written of sort of business espionage and portfolio management. And Sean, you were sort of going back and forth into Moscow at those times was that the late 90s or early 2000s that you were going back and forth into Moscow and the early stages of capitalism in Russia?
Exactly. It was after the bond crisis in the late 90s. So when the call it the petrodollar was the strongest in the early 2000s and mid 2000s. So it was an interesting time in terms of Russia peaking, and then there was a bit of a collapse as the GFC hit in 2007. So plenty of stories, some cloak and dagger type stuff that really does happen in the capital markets in Russia. So a lot of interesting elements and with the state-run enterprises that are very tied to the government and the capital markets. There's a lot of nuance to investing and lending and finance in Russia.
Well, we look forward to hearing some of those stories. One of the things you told me about is a vacation you took across Siberia. Give us a 1 minute oversight of what that trip was. That sounded amazing.
Yeah, I'd call it a vacation in the loosest of terms. There was some hardship. It was a 28-day train trek across Russia and through Siberia to through Mongolia, ending up in China. So plenty of stops along the way. I'd say the cuisine was all forms of mutton. So mutton, and I have a a lot of insight into the different ways to prepare mutton and soup, and got to see beautiful scenery and really some of these small towns that you wouldn't normally chart on a honeymoon target list, but a lot of interesting history there.
So what excites you about this role? Why did you choose to make the next stop in your career here with us at Assante Wealth?
Well, I think it's a good, call it a marriage of my skill set and some of the things in terms of risk management, portfolio management, advising, that kind of all go together, along with an incredible platform that, as we talked about earlier, it's a global platform, but it's being relational to a local market and individual families and their wealth plans and hopes and aspirations. So I'm very excited about the opportunity and joining a great group of committed, motivated people who are like-minded, and hopefully I can bring something to the table to elevate all our goals.
Well, we look forward to working with you over these next years. When you're in the office, we'll have a chance to introduce you to a number of our clients, and we're looking forward to those interactions. And for those of our clients, people like Sean are very important to us because they bring to us products and services that we couldn't otherwise have because of his depth of experience. Things like private equity markets, liquid alternatives, private real estate, things like that are available to us through an investment counselor like Sean. And so from time to time, we will be having conversations with Sean. And in the meantime, Sean, thank you so much for introducing yourself to us. And we're looking forward to working with you over the coming years, and best wishes.
Great. Thanks, Brad. And thanks everyone for your time.